in making the film was that you actually kind of flipped it from the original source material. Can you say a few words about why you think that decision was so critical in getting the job done with this particular story?
As you said, the original script, Melissa McCarthy's character was actually Chris O'Dowd's character and vice versa. So you had a story about a strong man staying at home, holding the fort down while after a tragedy, while his wife takes a mental health timeout. And as much as I love the script and as beautiful as the original script was by Matt Harris wrote such a beautiful script. It felt a little like dated and definitely felt untrue to me and my own personal experience as a human. I was raised by a single mom. I have two daughters. I have my wife of 25 years. I'm surrounded by all these strong women. And at any given day, they're way better than me, way better, way smarter, way healthier than I am on any given day. And so I felt that switching the roles and switching the script was like a natural thing to do, more organic and honestly more true to real life, definitely more true to my real life, obviously, but more true to real life in general. I think women are the backbone of our society, and I think men are leading and not doing a great job of that. So I think it was paramount to switch it. And once we switched it, we said, that makes sense.
Well, it really works with Melissa as your lead, but I want to talk to that just for just a moment, because I'm not only a mom, but a first-time grandma. My little grandma is just a few months old, and I'm the mom of a dad. So to see my son in his role as a father, when I watched the film, it was kind of through the vantage point of him too, kind of seeing how Chris actually processes his grief in a way that shows that, a lot of times we think the loss of a child is something that would impact the mother in a different way. And yet Chris comes to this role with a kind of this very tender humor. Can you say a little bit about him and the role and why he's so perfect in this position of vulnerability, but with such a sense of humor too?
Yeah, look, Chris is an incredible actor, first and foremost. He's an incredible actor, an incredible talent, an incredible person. He's super kind, super smart, and super humble and super honest. I had worked with him on St. Vincent and just fell in love with him. He's just such a good man. And then I saw him on Broadway in Of Mice and Men, and I was just shocked. I was like, his dramatic turn in that. The whole entire audience was crying. And I said, this guy, no one even knows the depth of what he can do. I don't even know if he knows the depth of what he can do, but it's boundless if you ask me. And I mean, Chris, as a comedian, is able to access the humorous parts of himself in the middle of the tragic parts of himself so easily. And you're like 1 minute laughing at something he says, and the next minute you're crying at something he says in the same scene. He can turn it on a dime, and it's not because he's crafting it. He just is feeling it. He just allows to be an open vessel. I think Chris has said, I've heard Chris say before, he's just not attracted to material that doesn't have, laughter and pain, because that's what
I definitely feel all the feels with it.
Yeah, that's how he finds that's what he thinks life is. So yeah.
It is. That's life. I have to ask you about Melissa McCarthy and the Starling. So Melissa is incredible, such a strong actor. And one thing that kind of shocked me here was the physicality of her role. And correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I'm guessing that there probably were some hijinks in terms of actually, how the Starling comes to life. How did you direct her to act in such a physical way against something that probably actually wasn't really on set with you?
I did, I would just tell her, there was many things that went into the making of the actual bird of the Starling. So it's like four things amalgamated. So it's visual effects. So the bird flying at her when she's in the garden and attacking her is a visual effect. And we had things we threw and things we showed as eye lines. And then I would do these Starling voices off screen that she just at first thought I was ridiculous. And then later thought, oh, it's very helpful. And at one point it was a ringtone for someone on set. And I researched these starlings and how they talk and how they communicate with each other. And I would do these bird voices. I would do, which is like the starling
which makes
bird voice.
its way in the film, right?
Yeah. And that is what a real starling sounds like. And so we did that, and the physicality of it, Melissa's just a naturally gifted physical actor, can do anything. And we tried to keep it as real as possible. Like, you get hit by a bird, you get hit by a bird. I mean, I've been swooped in my life. It's a scary thing because you're like, what is that? So she's just naturally talented at comedy, and naturally talented at drama. She can and she can marry the two very much like Chris can. She just can marry them at the blink of an eye. And I think because she is so grounded, has two beautiful children, comes from the Midwest, and has never lost sight of that. She's never lost sight. And she says it all the time. We are so blessed to just be able to do this.
So one last kind of question that kind of will relate to this major force that is Kevin Kline, that's a gift to the show. And also kind of, this film coming as it does now, when we have a time for a great need for hope and healing in our world, how do you think that his role, he heals not only her and her family, but himself too? Why is this film so important right now? And what does his part in it bring to us that gives us hope?
Well, Kevin Kline represents the person who thought he didn't want to do something and turned away from it. He thought he didn't want to be a psychologist because he couldn't deal with the pain of people. He thought that. And so he left the profession of psychiatry and he went and became a veterinarian. And then he realizes, oh, I became a vet to not deal with people, but the pets all have people. So it's like that thing. My therapist would always tell me, everywhere you go, there you'll be, right? So Kevin leaves this thing thinking, I'm not going to have to deal with this thing about people and pain, only to go to be a vet and realize, oh my God, I have to deal with it twofold. I have to deal with the pet's pain and now the owner of the pet's pain. And then Melissa McCarthy shows up and he does not want to help her. He does not want to get dragged back into this profession of psychiatry. He does not want to get dragged back into the pain of others because it reminds him of the pain he has. But he does. And in doing that, he heals himself and realizes, no, I'm a therapist. My life goal is to help others. Why the film is important now? I mean, I think it's uber important right now. After the last 2 years, everyone's looking for just the light at the end of the tunnel, some sense of hope. Like, can we please just have some sense of hope? Can we know that there is a way through? That's what the couple's going through in Starling. They're trying to find a way through, and we're all trying to find a way through. Humanity, society is trying to find a way through to the other side, and there is another side. And in order to get there, we got to go. Like my mom would always say, if you're going through hell, don't stop, right? Don't stop, get through it as fast as you can. Life is built, life is, comes with tragedy. It comes with pain, right? And so what it doesn't come with is laughter. Like, you have to make the laughter. That's why I think the film is so important, because it allows you to do both. It allows you to have a catharsis about what this couple's going through, then to have the hope and the laughter that they get through it with dignity and with elegance. That's what I think the film is really super important for our times.
Ted Melfi, masterful job. The Starling, out now on Netflix. Everybody check it out. Thank you so much for your time and for this gift for our families.
Thank you. Take care, Lisa.